clearly is continuing to be a danger to the public. And then the next question would be, well, Stu, if you were law enforcement, how would you stop it? Well, there's no way to actually do a pit maneuver. There's no way to get some, spike strips in front of this guy, especially at these high speeds and very random pattern out here. Just to make sure that you guys know where we are right now, we're going to be on the 105 freeway. We're going to be coming up onto the 605 here in just a moment. We'll see which direction he goes. But this is one of those ones where you just got to kind of wonder, how are they going to stop it, even if they did get involved? Clearly the backing off didn't slow this guy down. Clearly the backing off didn't make this driver less reckless. So it is one of those ones where at least if there was law enforcement trailing, there would be lights and sirens. There'd be a little bit of acknowledgement to the public at large. And again, definitely not criticizing anybody on their decision-making process. But watch this guy. He just basically was riding that center lane there on the HOV, almost swapping paint with two other vehicles. Clearly doesn't have any regard for that vehicle and or anybody else's life, as he's working his way probably up to 120 miles an hour. That's what our speedometer is saying right now. And it looks like we're going to either be getting off the freeway right now, or we're going to be taking a southbound transition, or we're going to stay on the freeway and take, we are going to be taking the southbound transition, it looks like. But this type of speeds, this type of recklessness, it makes me, it makes me realize I'm happy I'm the reporter and not have to make a decision on how they're going to stop this thing. Oh. Oh, definitely, and you know it is the truth. We watch these things all the time. I've mentioned it before. It's not drama. It's not I'm not trying to play up the situation. When these cars at these high speeds, even right here, you're just going, it's like you just don't want to see moving so quickly. It is a BMW. It is more of a performance vehicle, but being driven this hard, that fast for so long. Things get hot, things start to wear out, the driver's probably going to start becoming fatigued, and that just creates, everything just builds onto the danger. Everything builds onto the next thing. And when you see these cars moving so quickly and in total disregard, running every red light, going through every stop sign, cutting people off right and left, it's a miracle that there hasn't been any injuries so far. We watch these things. We're always hopeful that nobody gets injured, and we just want to see that guy go, get those cuffs, get those silver bracelets, and that's the end of it. But right now, you can see we're on Rosecrans. We're back into an area that is a mixed area. There's a lot of commercial stuff out here, but there's a lot of residential as well, and more importantly, a lot more traffic. That's right. We were hoping that the assignment desk would get that information for us and try to figure out how that happened. It wasn't like that in the beginning. The original stop on that car, basically, as we understand it, was some sort of traffic violation, and then it kind of bumped up, and then they realized those plates don't belong to that vehicle, and now there's information clearly that it is a stolen vehicle. So it's kind of been moving around on what the original want was, but it's very clear that this vehicle moving very, very fast this afternoon, and total disregard for anybody around them. It's amazing that this vehicle hasn't gotten in. Clearly it might have, because there's that bumper dragging off the back there, but hasn't collided with any other vehicles so far. This is what we're talking about right there. Luckily that light probably turned green. You can see another car making a left right there, but we are going to keep an eye on it. LAPD has 2 helicopters over it right now, so they definitely want to at least know where this thing ends, and are basically working, coordinating with whatever law enforcement. In this case, we're going to be working our way still in the Sheriff's Department area, so they're definitely working with the Sheriff's Department. I know that the officer in one of the helicopters was talking with California Highway Patrol earlier as well, so they're trying to coordinate an effort how they're going to bring this, how they're going to make that law enforcement appear when this vehicle comes to a stop. Hopefully it'll come to a stop under that, because that driver chooses to, and this vehicle doesn't collide with somebody innocent on the roadway. Well, definitely. They definitely are been tracking. They have been tracking, and they probably will continue to until this thing comes to an end. Making a turn here, I thought that might have been an on-ramp, but it is not. Just giving everybody a heads up that our bosses and the folks that are watching us at home, Skyfox has been up for quite some time, and we are probably going to be starting to need fuel here in the next maybe 10 minutes or so. Just giving everybody a heads up on that. So now we are northbound 605 freeway. The speeds are definitely going to start be picking up. We've seen this pattern in the past. You know, I'm not 100% sure on that, but a lot of these BMWs, they're limiter, meaning that the car, if it's factory and hasn't been tampered with, probably limited at about 125 miles an hour. So that's about as fast as that car is going to go, right about the 120 mark. That bumper just flapping in the wind right there, just kind of wondering when the last pieces are going to fall off. But you can see right now he's really starting to push it again. He's well into the triple digits, weaving in and out of these out of the traffic out there, and that's probably a lot of the biggest problem. You know, that we don't want to see anything like that. But you're driving along on the freeway, Marla, or one of your friends, and you just make a lane change, and you're not thinking that, you look in the mirror and you're not thinking that car's going 120 miles an hour coming up on me, and you think you're clear, you make that turn, and then it turns into a tragedy. This vehicle right now weaving back and forth. It looks like we're going to be trying to get back off the freeway again, and I can't even really choose. A lot of times I say, the freeway is probably safer because everybody's going the same direction, high speed, at a speed. But this guy using every chance he gets, squeezing between cars. Freeway, roadway, this guy's a hazard. I just hope nobody gets hurt. Where do you? Definitely tinted windows, and I would venture to guess it's probably a 7 Series. If it's not a 7, it's clearly a 5. But these cars are extremely solid vehicles. They are performance vehicles, and he's clearly using every little bit of that car, even though it's not it's not his. He's driving it like he stole it, probably because he did. We also know that the license plate on that car comes back to an Audi. So they call that cold-plated. But you can see that vehicle really just kind of picking up speed northbound 605 freeway. Looking out the window, I can tell you he's going to be coming up on a lot of traffic up there, especially if he stays over there away from the number 1 lane. If he's more to the right that he stays, the more traffic there's going to be. So I'm guessing he's probably going to either he's going to jump off the freeway or he's going to try to push his way through. But it's definitely starting to back up as we're making our way north out of the Whittier area. Here we go on the emergency lane. But it also, law enforcement following it. Everybody's kind of got eyes on it, but how are you going to stop it, Marla? I mean, honestly, it's like I get asked that question all the time. Do you have any ideas how you're going to bring something like this to a stop? There it is. Yeah. Yep. Well, cold-plated is basically the license plate that's on that vehicle doesn't belong to that vehicle. Also, if everybody was watching right now, some people might be saying, oh, the car is smoking. That is basically dust and debris that's in the emergency lane. And also another thing is, like, when I see pursuits like this one and they get into that emergency lane, I'm always kind of thinking to myself, I hope he picks something up and just gets himself a flat tire just to bring this thing to an end. It looks like we're going to be getting off the freeway right here. There's going to be the 605. And just to make it real simple, cold-plated is the term that most law enforcement use for a license plate that does not belong to the vehicle. So basically they ran that plate. In this case, we actually heard some of that information, came back to an Audi. This is clearly a BMW. So somebody had put a different license plate on this vehicle. Right now, the other information tells the law enforcement that this is a stolen vehicle. Originally, how it came about that they wanted to pull it over, that's a tough one. I think it actually was some sort of traffic violation, but we'll figure that all out later on. Right now, we're just keeping an eye on what's going on. Hopefully, nobody gets hurt, and maybe this vehicle will just come to a stop someplace. Or, you know what, Marla, even though it's a BMW, this guy's been pushing it hard, or lady has been pushing it hard for quite some time. So possibly we might just see this vehicle run out of gas, like Skybox. Yes. That's sad. Well, hopefully that other vehicle doesn't have severe damage, and hopefully more than that, nobody has gotten hurt. It probably was. The only reason I was kind of questioning it is because of where that damage was. That could have been some sort of a pit maneuver done by another agency. Like I said, we were listening to this earlier. Earlier on, and we wanted to go, but there was that we were covering the fallen deputy story, so we all decided to stay at that deputy out of respect. But clearly, you can see that this continues to move. Look at this. This is the first time we've actually seen that vehicle stop since we've been here. Don't know really. It's kind of interesting because he could have basically made a turn in either direction, but maybe he's starting to calm down a little bit. Maybe the adrenaline is wearing off, because clearly there is no black and whites. There's no law enforcement on the ground following this vehicle. Clearly a number of helicopters are, but right now there's nobody down there. This is the issue right here. It's a cul-de-sac. Yeah, so, but I can't see it from my vantage point right now to see what's going on. I really have a feeling that there is no law enforcement that's coming down the street. That would have been a good opportunity to block them in, but clearly that didn't happen right now. Oh, Tobias. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Well, Marla, that's the thing. A lot of times we'll watch these pursuits, and they'll have a license plate, and they'll know, okay, he lives at this address. The vehicle will make their way to that address, then maybe do circles around there, and that's when the spike strips. There we go. Maybe that's when the spike strips would really come in handy. But in this case, this vehicle has not traversed the same spot twice. It started up in the Rampart area, out by Boyle Heights, and made its way all the way down here to Whittier. Drove through a shopping center right there. The pit maneuver, we both know, his driving is becoming a little bit more erratic. We both know that the pit maneuver, there's just not enough. Oh, look at this. He's going to park it. Well, almost perfect in the line. Or maybe he's going to correct it right there. Nope, he's just decided to drive over the curb. That's interesting. But at any rate, there we go. Just keeping it going right there. I don't know what that was all about. It was something interesting to see for sure. At any rate, back onto Whittier Boulevard, and just kind of moving along. Still, he's getting so close to so many of these other cars. It is a stolen vehicle. We heard that from earlier on. It's just sad to think that this driver just really doesn't seem to care about what's going on around him. And also, it probably is the last thing, even on that driver's mind, is that he's probably putting himself in a lot of danger as well. Running through those areas. There we go. That might be the first of the law enforcement. Now, Whittier has their own PD, their own police department, and they, again, we assume that everybody's on that same page. They know that vehicle is in the area. We'll see what happens right now, but that cruiser definitely making a U-turn, making an effort to chase it. We're just kind of watching this. He's driving extremely more reckless. Yep. Oh, definitely fell back behind, and even if that officer, oh, geez, here we go. Oh. Even if that officer had the reaction time that we saw, I mean, right away, lights and sirens made that turn. There's a good possibility Whittier PD also being told, do not pursue this vehicle. We heard it, like I said, wanted to get on this pursuit as soon as we heard it. We heard law enforcement tell their officers several times, do not chase that vehicle. And then when everybody backed off, somebody else saw this vehicle racing by. They got behind it, turned on their lights and sirens. Hey, we're in pursuit. And they right away it was like, no, back off. And that's what's been going on pretty much this entire time. Looks like we're making our way back into another shopping center. I don't know if this person is trying to do one of these, bail into an area that's populated to try to blend in. But you can clearly see these are the things I really don't like when they get in these bigger parking lots. You've got people that are just out there shopping or doing whatever they need to do, and you just don't expect a car to come barreling through there. Everybody's asking me. I'll put it out on the air. I probably think because we have an airport nearby, I'm guessing that we probably have another 10 to 15 on station, meaning that we have another 10 to 15 minutes to show our folks at home how long we can this chase. But after that, if that BMW doesn't run out of fuel, we're going to have to definitely, up here in Skyfox, we're definitely going to have to go get some fuel. Hell. Oh, shit. Really, that's when we were down in the Lakewood area when this thing started, and we heard the initial chase take place, and made its way quickly out of the Boyle Heights area into the downtown Los Angeles area, and then onto a freeway, and then into South Los Angeles. This is one of the things I was going to kind of mention earlier on. Whittier has a lot of beautiful trees out here, and I'm just hoping that he doesn't get his way into some of these streets out here. The tree lines just go for miles, literally blocks and blocks and blocks. So anyways, he's staying in these neighborhoods out here, and I can guarantee you, I'll honestly, to anybody listening right now, meaning our bosses or people at home, Adam, our pilot today, keeping us safe. Believe me, we have El Monte Airport very close by. We're definitely not going to run the helicopter out of fuel, but as soon as we have to go, we definitely will. Whoop! Ooh, that was close. Oh, hello, officer. Yeah, right there. And this is one of those moments where you just kind of think, oh, look at that. I wonder if that guy did that on purpose. Yeah. So anyways, this is just, and it must be so frustrating for law enforcement to have that suspect come right up on you like that, and then have your supervisors just say, yep, no, you can't, nope, don't engage. So that it must be just, they're people just like you and I, and you're telling them, don't do your job. And it must be so tough for those guys and gals in law enforcement. Right now you can see we're in a very residential area out here, not too super familiar with Whittier, except that there's a lot of trees out here, and you can see him kind of weaving his way through there, some stop signs, and then back into that tree-lined area, which is always an issue. Law enforcement definitely in the area. I haven't seen him pop out, Vinny. I haven't seen him pop out yet. And in LA, one of that black and white cruiser is right behind him. So then, yeah, there he goes. So let's see where he went. He just up the street, or not. He parked by a driveway down there, somewhere down there. Yep, yeah, that's the officer running. So Vinny's gonna keep an eye on that officer, see where he's going right there. But apparently the suspect is out of the vehicle and apparently is running. So I'm gonna get on some of the radios. Push in, down, push down, push down, push down. And we're moving we're moving Skyfox here to get that shot again with these trees. So we're working to find him too, Marla. We definitely are. I'm sorry, Marla. Everybody's hollering. He's over there by the tree, by the. Right there. I believe there's some kind of pointy roof, so he might be under the trees there somewhere. I'm hoping that they're talking to Vinny right now, so I can talk to you, Marla. But we saw them running, so this thing coming to an end. And then I also understand that perfect timing for Skyfox for once in our lives, where we actually need to go get fuel like right now. And clearly, this the suspect in custody, somewhere underneath one of these tree lines. And in the end, I believe it was Whittier PD that finally brought this all to an end. I got that from our management that he is on the ground and being taken into custody. Okay, there he is. There he is, right there, being taken. There he is, right there, being taken into custody off of Greenleaf, and Bailey. Somebody actually shouted that out to us earlier on. There you go. Sheriff's Department. Yep, definitely. Marla, always a pleasure. We'll talk to you soon. If we would have just been on it from the get-go,